Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you are here. You clicked on today's video and you're going to be spending some time with me today. So go ahead, grab something cozy to eat or drink, maybe a fun knitting or crochet project, get comfy, and let's go ahead and dive into today's video. You can't really see behind me. I've kind of strategically placed myself because behind this chair, this is the living room behind me. Behind it all, it's a disaster. I have family coming in to town tomorrow and I'm trying to clean up the house, and obviously we just moved, so I'm just still trying to find places for everything. Actually this morning I was working on the garage. I have a lot of my things still out in the garage, so I was just kind of working through that. And anyway, so I did get a lot of things done as well. I just put Ava down for her nap, so this is kind of the only chance that I have. I have her blanket that I'm working on, so I wanted to do some knitting and some chatting. But yeah, this was the only chance that I had to film something probably for the next couple of weeks, so you probably won't be seeing a video maybe till the beginning of the year, which is nuts. It's just, that's crazy to me that the year is almost over and we're almost to a new year, which honestly, that's what we're going to be talking about. So let's go ahead and dive into what today's video is going to be. I'm actually going to talk about some of the favorite books that I read this year, and then I'm going to talk about my kind of goals and things that I want to do next year. So let's just go ahead and chat. So like I said, I'm working on Ava's blanket. It is a week and 2 days until Christmas, which is crazy. So like I said, I have family coming into town tomorrow. They'll be here all week, and then we're all getting together, half of the family getting together over the weekend. And so I don't know how much knitting I'm going to be able to do throughout the next week. And yeah, Christmas is so soon. I'm getting pretty close to finishing up her blanket, and then I have so many ends to weave in. Yeah, every color change, there's a lot of ends to weave in. So I'm also hearing and watching Ava play in her crib, so we will see if she goes back to sleep. She's so tired, and there's usually a reason when she's up like this. So usually either she wants a drink, something. So we'll give her a few minutes, see if she falls asleep. So I might have to press pause, go check on her, and then come back. Yeah, Christmas is so soon. It's just crazy. I've got most everything shopped for and wrapped. Yeah, I need to get a couple stocking stuffers for my husband and finish up Ava's blanket, and then I think all the shopping and everything will be done. Yeah, I just had this idea to do kind of a sit-down video where I chat about books, I chat about knitting, I do some knitting while I'm talking, drink some coffee, and just kind of enjoy this little bit of time. So probably like all of us, if not most or a good amount of us, we like, and us as in like you guys, we probably have a lot of different hobbies, and you probably know, but reading is my #1 hobby, and knitting and crocheting are by far second. However, this year reading definitely got put on the back burner because I was so focused on doing markets and crocheting, and all of my spare time was spent on that. And then the last few months, obviously we were moving and just life was really busy. So this year I ended up only reading 30 books so far. The year's not over. I might get 1 or 2 more read between now and the end of the year, but yeah, the rest of the year it's gonna be pretty busy and full of family fun. Yeah, typically I very easily can get to 50, and then I usually surpass that. But this year I just did not do as much reading, and I definitely felt it. I definitely felt the lack of, reading in my life. I have never not read. Like ever since I learned how to read, I just have had this love for books and for reading, and it's just something that I love to do. A few years ago I actually started a booktube channel, and I actually kept up with it a couple of years ago. Like when Ava was first born, actually I started posting more videos, and then when I started doing this crafting channel, talk about crochet and knitting, I just stopped doing videos about books and just really focused on talking about crocheting and knitting. And I felt like I couldn't really combine the two. Like I had to have this niche channel where I could only talk about knitting and crochet because that was what my channel is, about crafting. Someone actually mentioned one time, well, why don't you talk about books as well, like you do both? And I was like, hey, that's actually a really great idea. So that is what I would like to do going into the new year. Before I kind of like talk all over, which is kind of what I've been doing, let's first talk about my favorite books that I read over this past year, and then we'll go into what I hope for next year. Take a drink of coffee first. I keep a physical reading journal every year. I, at one point, did try to do Goodreads, maybe like, I want to say like 10 years ago. I could be wrong. It could not have been exactly 10 years, but it was a long time ago that I did Goodreads, and it just didn't work for me. And so I always just keep a physical reading journal. I usually get one a year and just get a new one every year. This one has enough space for 100 books. Like I said, I only read 30, so I'm going to continue this into next year. I just got this off of Amazon. Last year I had one that was like half the size of this, and then I wanted to get a bigger one because for some reason I thought I was going to be reading 100 books this year, but then I got into doing crochet market, so that didn't happen. Yeah, it's just, I mean, you can do very in-depth things with this. I keep it very, very simple, where I don't even use half the features that they have. They have a list for books finished, books that I want to read, books I didn't finish, books borrowed, and then you have all the pages where you can write the details about the book. And even this page, I keep it very, very basic and very simple. So, like I said, I read 30 books this year. It's, you know, I started to kind of keep it a little bit colorful, and then you can kind of see that it just, the next page, not so colorful. So I'm just going to quickly kind of go through and pick out the ones that I really enjoyed. I do write what my rating is, but I don't really, like if I were to talk to or recommend a book to you or something, like I wouldn't give the rating. I would say this was good, not so good, or I'd recommend this or not. Like I feel like people are so hung up on ratings and doing like 4.25 stars, or I'm just like, if it was good, it was good. If it wasn't, it wasn't. And, you know, I don't know, you know, it's not English class. That's just kind of my take on it. But I do, you know, give my rating. Like if it was really good, I'm like, okay, that was easy, 5 stars. Like that was really good. Or like, oh, that was a 2-star. That was really, really bad. So yeah, so I read, you know, 30 books this year, not a ton, but the very first book I read was The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. That was by John Mark Comer. Highly recommend. That is a 5-star. It's a nonfiction book, and it, you know, it is Christian. He is a pastor, or he was a pastor, and you know there is a lot of faith elements in it, but I think even as a non-Christian you can still glean so much from it. It's just slowing down in life and finding, you know, what really matters. So that book I highly recommend to anybody, and it's a very short book. You can easily read it quickly. So that was definitely the first book that I read this year, and like one of the best ones. So highly recommend. I think it's one that I would like to just keep reading periodically, just to kind of refresh and just realize like, okay, you know, there are some things that I don't need to take so seriously, or there are things, you know, life has more important things happening. So that one I definitely recommend. Then I read a few others, but I'm just going to kind of pick the ones that I thought were really good. I read What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. I'm going to try to have pictures up here of the books. I have the physical copy. I let my sister borrow it. And then the second book actually came out just recently. We went together to the bookstore, so she bought the second one. So she has both with her right now. She actually is rereading. She reread the first one and just finished up the second one. I want to reread the first one and then read the second one. I just have been busy, and obviously we moved, and I just haven't gotten a chance to do that. So we are seeing her this weekend, so maybe I'll get those from her and reread them, but we'll see. Let's see, another one that I thought was really good. I read The Fury by Alex Michaelides. This was his newest one for the year. I personally loved it. I think that some people didn't as much compared to his other ones. I thought it was really good. He had a different narration style, and it was just really, really good. So I really liked that one. Another one that I thought was really good was Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherland. So this was the second book, and loved it. Loved both of these books in the series. I don't know if there's more coming out. I think there is another one, but I highly recommend the Emily Wilde books. Those are really, really good. I read a lot of popular books this year, and some of them were just kind of like meh. Another one that I liked was To Find Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I have yet to read the second one, but the first one I thought was really good. I really liked it. I read my first Emily Henry book this year. I read Beach Read, and I was very disappointed in it. I thought it was good, but it wasn't just this great book because everyone loves Emily Henry, and I was like, why? What am I missing? So I do want to give her another chance. So maybe I'll read Book Lovers. I heard that was a good one. And then her release of this year, Funny Story, I heard was really good. So I will give her a second chance. Then I read Just for the Summer. So I'm skipping a lot of books here. So I'm just kind of like, you know, we're just chatting about books. So anyways, Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. I loved this one. I have not read the other one, so this is part of like a standalone series. So they're all connected. Each book has characters that will be seen in the other book. So I did not read the first two, and it didn't matter to me that I missed the first two. So I highly recommend this one. This one was really, really good. It touched on a lot of personal things for me, and it was really, really good. I know this got really popular, so if you haven't read it, I recommend, but I'm sure, you know, you have, because it was really popular this year for a good reason. Another one I really liked was Heartless Hunter, and the second one is coming out very, very soon. This is a kind of witchy take on the Scarlet Pimpernel, and whenever I hear people talking about this book, they aren't making the connection, and maybe they haven't heard of the Scarlet Pimpernel or read that. I loved that book in high school. I thought it was really, really good, and it's even one that I want to reread again, because after reading Heartless Hunter, I was like, oh, I love the Scarlet Pimpernel. So the connection between the two is, in Heartless Hunter, she's this kind of silly socialite, and that's how he is in the Scarlet Pimpernel. He is this silly socialite, but secretly they're like vigilantes and like saving people. So this one is about a witch and a witch hunter. So definitely recommend that one. I thought that one was really good. Then another one I really liked was Belladonna by Adeline Grace. I've only read the first one, and I ended up buying the whole series, and I have yet to finish it, but they're up on my shelf, so every time I walk past and I see them, I'm like, oh, I really want to read these. So they're very kind of atmospheric, and so I might actually read them over, you know, this winter season. I think that would be really fun. So yeah, I read that one. I really liked that one. I read Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. This was his newest release for the year. I heard mixed things about this one. I have not read The Only One Left. So that was 2 years ago, I think. Or was it last year's? I don't remember. But I really liked Middle of the Night. I really, really, really liked that one. Yeah, I really liked that one. Another one that was really popular, but also kind of not, I don't know. So is The Ministry of Time. And this one, I think this won something in the Goodreads Awards this year. I don't remember, but I think it did. Some people either love it or hate it. I could not, I didn't even put a rating down for this one, but I could not figure out what I thought of this book. And I was like, either this is like a work of genius or it was very dumb. And I think it was just very dumb. So I think that there wasn't depth. I don't know how to explain it. It was just a very interesting sci-fi fantasy time travel romance. It was very odd, and I just think it wasn't what it was trying to be. I don't know. Another one that I thought was cute was The Ornithologist's Guide to Love, and this one is similar kind of to like Emily Wilde, and I thought it was really, really cute. So then I recommended it to my sister, and she really liked them. So yeah, I thought that one was really good. I read Serpent in the Wings of Night, which I actually think I talked about it in this book. I did not like that book at all, and most people love that one, so I think I was just missing something with that, but I did not like that one. I read The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, and that one was incredible. I know it was so popular, and also I think it won in the mystery thriller in the Goodreads Awards this year. And it's not necessarily a thriller. Like, you're not gonna go in thinking it's like some, you know, Riley Sager thriller. It's definitely more kind of like literary fiction, like a family mystery. Like it revolves around a family. There's a mystery, and then you kind of like figure it out along the way. There's not a lot of like twists and turns and surprises, but it was so good. It's hard to explain, but it was so good. It had so many different perspectives and point of views, but it all like connected, and it was so good. So definitely popular for good reason. So I highly recommend that one. If you haven't read it, highly recommend it, definitely. And I did a mix of audiobook and physical reading, and they were both really good. I remember listening to this while I was packing up and moving and stuff. So that was really good. I read Throne of Glass for the second time just recently, and I actually did read it back in the beginning of this year, which I thought I had read it last year, but it's the beginning of this year. So I read it twice this year. Both times were really great. I enjoyed it, so I'm excited to keep reading with this series, which I did talk about it in one of my last videos. So I definitely want to keep reading with that series. So I listened to 2 audiobooks. They were both by Annabelle Monaghan. I listened to these last week actually while I was knitting and doing cleaning and driving and things like that, which was really, really fun. This is only the 3rd audiobook for the year. I don't listen to audiobooks I just don't like them. I like to physically read. I'm faster at it, and it just makes, I can't listen to things, and it just goes over my head. I have to like actually read it for it to like go in my brain. Otherwise I'm so distracted. So it was really nice listening to these audiobooks. I was working on Ava's Blanket. So yeah, they're both by Annabelle Monaghan. Nora Goes Off Script and Summer Romance. They're both really cute rom-coms. They're both about older women who were newly divorced. They had kids and they kind of like fall in love again, have like a, you know, this fresh start to life kind of thing. And they're really cute. So I definitely recommend them for sure. I thought they were really cute. And then this last book that I read, I just finished this up yesterday, I think. And I think I talked about it in my last video, so it took me a while to finish it. But it's Beyond Ivy Walls by Rachel Fordham. This one, I just really hated this one for so many reasons. And I feel really bad because this is a Christian romance. And as a Christian, I really love that there are people out there, you know, in the romance genre. Because romance nowadays is just full of, you know, just really just poor writing. It's all about spice and just like, it's just not, you know, that's not to say all of the books are like that, like contemporary romances. Obviously you have Emily Henry, Abby Jimenez, like you have really popular authors who are writing really great literature, or great books, but it's really great that there are Christian authors out there, you know, wanting to still have a romance but keep it clean and glorifying to God. So I do appreciate that aspect of it, but this book was really bad. It was really, really bad. And I was so excited because one, a lot of people were talking about it, saying how great it was, giving it 5 stars. It took like a couple of months for the hold to come through. It was like weeks and weeks to wait. And even then I kept getting notifications like 3 people are waiting for this book. And so I knew it was like a popular book. So I was very excited for it. It is a Beauty and the Beast retelling in a way, and that got me really excited. And basically it's about this girl whose father, they have a farm, he gets injured, he can't work, they need money, so she goes to the city to work in a factory to get money for her family. Okay, that sounds great. Things happen, she ends up needing a place to stay. She stays in this old rundown factory that is not in use. The factory belongs to this mysterious owner. We find that there's more to this mysterious owner, their lives connect, and the mysterious owner is supposed to be like the Beast. Now, he has this condition that makes him ugly, but like not. So basically and it was kind of said in the beginning, and that was another critique that I have for this book, is it never fleshed out, it never explained fully what he had. It just explained, basically he didn't have any hair, which is, I can't remember the name, it starts with an A, and it's a condition where your hair just falls out. And it's the condition, I don't know why, it's what Will Smith's wife has. Why can't I think of the name for it? It starts with an A. Anyways, so he has that condition, but it was never explained in the book. Obviously this is a historical period fiction book, and this name probably wasn't back then. However, it was just never explained that his hair just kind of fell out. We just kind of slowly learned he didn't have hair. We didn't know when it started, why it started. All we knew, his dad didn't like it. There's just so many things that just were not explained well. And the main girl, how it was written. So first of all, this book, I don't know why I'm going off on this book. If you love this book, I'm great. Like, I'm glad for you. This book felt like it was middle grade level of reading. It felt so poorly written and just so choppy. And so that led me to believe that the main author, or the main girl, was like 16 or 17. Like, I really thought she was that young. And then eventually I found out she's 23. And then the guy is even older than that, or not much, but a little bit. I was shocked. I was like, 23? And you're acting like this, you're talking like this. Like, it's just, it was so, like, and then the main, like, conflict was, you know, a secret that she had. And it's like, okay, maybe if you're like 16 and you didn't know what to do with that information, I could get it. But if you're 23, like, I was married by 23, like, it just felt so like that's not that young. Like, how she was acting was like a 16, 17-year-old. So I was really, really surprised to find out her age. So anyways, all that to say, that was the last book that I read so far this year. So I definitely need to end the year on a better note than that. But yeah, I know that was kind of like random. I was just kind of looking through the books and just picking out ones that I liked, maybe some ones that I didn't. So that is the end of my book chat. Okay, so now we're going to get into next year's like goals and plans and everything like that. So I'm really excited for this section. I need to make this quick because I have an entire list of what needs to happen around the house today and tomorrow, and it's just hard to get things done with Ava around, so I need to take advantage of her nap. But I also really want to get this video filmed because, like I said, it'll probably be a couple of weeks at least before I can get another video out for you. So let's go ahead and just talk about the new year. I'm so excited for this new year. I think we moved to a whole new state. There's just a whole lot of fun, new, exciting things, and I'm just really excited for the new year to start. So going into the new year, there are some things that I would like to kind of see happen, but I also just kind of want to just let things happen as well. So this past year, I focused a lot on markets. I was crocheting a ton, doing a lot of content here, doing a lot of markets, and I had a lot of fun. But then towards the end, I started getting just really stressed, and then once we found out that we were moving, I was like, I cannot do markets anymore. There are a lot of markets here on the beach, and I actually got approved for one. They have them once a month. It's a 2-day market once a month. I got approved. There is one in January, but I think that's way too soon because I really don't have anything made. Obviously the holidays, and then I've been really focused on Ava's blanket. So yeah, once everything kind of like winds down and stops and then the new year begins, that will only give me a week or two to make things, and I don't think that's going to be enough time, and that'd be too stressful. So I think I'm going to do the February market. So I'm really excited to get back into doing markets. We went to a coffee shop yesterday and they had a little market out, and someone was selling crochet things. I was like, oh, that's so fun. Like, I really did enjoy doing markets. I think I just started to really focus on how many I can do and just saying yes to every market that came along. And so I think going into the new year, I want to do maybe once a month, if that, and then just kind of like just very slowly do them and just do them for fun. So I'm really excited about that. I also found this new pattern for these items that I really want to make. I'm not going to talk about it yet, but I have this like idea brewing, and it's kind of been brewing today. But I really need to focus on Ava's blanket before I get any new project started. But yeah, so I have that idea kind of going. So yeah, I think maybe once a month I do markets, maybe every couple of months, but I'm not going to just try to do, you know, once a week, twice a week. Like, I just want to kind of like keep it nice and simple going into the new year. So that's another, I definitely still want to do markets, but I'm just going to kind of slow down my markets for next year. So that's one goal. Another goal, I definitely want to do a whole lot more reading. Like I said, I read 30 books this year, which isn't very many for me. So I definitely want to like double that next year, do a lot more reading and just things that I enjoy, because this past year I felt like with any free time I could only crochet, I could only do things for the market, and so I felt like my time was limited. But I just want to kind of slow down and just do things that I enjoy. I really want to focus on the house. This past year, with being so busy with markets, I felt like the house was not a priority to me. I didn't take pride in a clean home, and I would just get really overwhelmed and stressed when it would just get really messy and dirty, and I definitely want to make that into a priority. So I still want to keep knitting and doing things that bring me joy, slowing down and not having to make things to sell, but to make things because I enjoy making them, like Ava's blanket, or if I want to make her something or make a gift, or just do things where I can kind of, you know, slow down and make for fun. So that's kind of where I'm seeing my like crochet type of journey into the new year. I you know, I do want to do markets and keep crocheting and knitting and just kind of enjoying that hobby. I want to read some more, and then, you know, obviously just have a lot of fun time with my family. And yeah, I'm really excited for that. As far as this channel, I have a lot of fun doing these videos. I want to keep doing them. I'm going to take pressure off of me. If I can't get a video out that week, like, that's okay. Like, I'll just try to like just do videos when I can. Yes, I do make a little bit of money from them, not much, but a little bit, and that does motivate me to keep making them, because the more videos I have, the more views, the more money I get, and that is obviously very helpful. But I'm very thankful that my husband works so hard to provide for us, where I can just still keep this, you know, as a hobby and just enjoy doing it and not having that pressure of trying to make money. but being able to make money from my hobby is so wonderful. It's so fun. So yeah, I still want to keep making these videos, but if I miss a week or, you know, life gets busy, I just want to keep doing them for fun. But I would love to be able to do one a week. That would be my goal, is to still do one video a week next year. But if I miss a week, like, I'm gonna be okay. And then I don't really care so much about numbers. Like, I'm so surprised that we have so many, I think, so many people here on this channel watching these videos, which is so just mind-boggling to me that so many people have subscribed. I remember I started this channel last year thinking, you know, I found actually a notebook while I was cleaning out the garage, and my goal was I want to get to 500 subscribers. That was my goal, and I did, and I'm almost at 1,500 right now, which is just nuts. So I think it'd be really cool by the end of next year if I was at like 2,000. I think that'd be really great. But yeah, I just am just having so much fun making these videos. I'm so grateful to everyone that likes and comments and that does subscribe. I just think it's just so great that we have this such fun, wonderful community over here where we talk about knitting and crocheting. A lot of you are moms, and it's just so great to have that connection and that understanding, and, you know, crafting with little ones, or maybe your little ones are grown now but you remember when they were little, and it's just so fun to be able to have just like-minded people. Yeah, I'm just really thankful for you for giving me this safe space to just share openly about my faith and, you know, my life and my crafting, and it just is this fun, safe space for me. And it's just so wonderful that all of you are just so kind and welcoming, and you always leave the nicest comments. I read every single comment. I try to respond to everyone, or at least like it, just so you know that I've read it, but it just means so much to me. So another goal that I just thought of actually is to be more active on Instagram. I am just not, and I want to post more. That's just a quicker way for me. If I post on my stories, or if you message me, it'd just be a quicker, kind of more real-time sort of update. So I definitely want to be more consistent there. So if you want to follow me, it's Audrey.craftingcorner. I will have everything down in the description below. But yeah, that's another goal, is I want to be more consistent with Instagram. So okay, so that concludes our kind of very chatty, random book chat, knitting chat, and 2025 goals. If you'd like to, you can leave a goal of yours for the new year down below. Maybe it's something that you want to make. Maybe it's something you want to do. Maybe it's a book you want to read in the new year. There are a lot of books I'm excited to read in this coming year. So all that to say, I know this was very long, but I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and like this video, subscribe if you're not already, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.